and then just worked on demos, worked on ideas, blah, 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 blah. And, real production started last month in December. We talked about starting production for a really long time, and then, the live session got birthed and all of the organization for that. The live session was supposed to be done in October. We were supposed to record it before Halloween, and that never happened. Just because, trying to get everybody in the same room at the same time, all the people that I wanted to be a part of it. I didn't establish a relationship with Josh, who's going to be playing bass for the live session, until November. But really, it was waiting on the timing for all the pieces to fall into place, having all of that planned, and then going, okay guys, Dan leaves February 6th. How the hell do we make this happen? And that's exactly where we're at right now.
I've heard it all over the music industry. You can only make your first record once, and I think the way that I've seen it done time and time again is you put together your best, most accessible, most pop-focused body of work, and you do that 2 or 3 times over, your freshman, sophomore, junior album, and then once you get picked up by a label, or once you get, X amount of following, or once your platform grows to a certain amount, then you can start doing the records that you want to do. I think I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, how long is it going to take to get there? If this record took us realistically like 2.5 years, is it going to take me now 6 or 7 years to get through 2 more album runs and build to X amount of following or X amount of platform? No. I have to make the music that I want to make now. And certainly do I want following. Absolutely. Certainly do I want people to appreciate the music. Of course. But that's not why the music was created.
Lost sleep thinking about the way your hips move in a different place, and I still can't find my home, and I can't forget your face in all of the things you do.
I do this because I do this, and I am beyond grateful for anybody who would want to listen and be a part of and take as their own, to use this body of work as reflection and as teaching and as true loving edification. I didn't make this work to blow up. We didn't do this because on paper it's appealing. This is illogical. We've thrown thousands of dollars and thousands of hours, and everybody on my team has given up other higher paying, higher platformed opportunities to be a part of and to show their belief in the work that we've done here. That to me is far more intriguing than a life of making pop music and doing well on radio and sounding like someone I may respect but I'm not, and hoping that I can get to a place where I can actually make the music I want to make. I'm just not willing to do it. In our prep, it's like, how can I be super psychological about this? And I would love to be. There are elements of storytelling, of songwriting, of arrangement, of visual elements, musicianship, of vocal practice that I can be super deep psychological, but to me it's kind of always been, and I don't mean to say this pretentiously, but it's really always been second nature. If I have an experience, or I see someone in my life go through something, or I exist in a relationship, just me doing life usually ends up coming back to the drawing board that is songwriting, right? Whatever that is.
Okay. So the chorus, this is our chorus, I think.
Yeah.
So I can feel your pain, it lingers as the smoke floats from my gun. So that's it's this backwards manipulative way to take accountability, right?
Yeah.
I think it would be really easy for me to be like, we live life, and life is so wonderful and so terrible. And there's truth in that. There is great joy and great grieving in living. But for as long as I can remember, if I live a life or experience a thing to maybe an unhealthy fault, a song's going to be written about it. A lot of this stuff that we're coming out with now is like love and romantic, relationally oriented, but that certainly hasn't been the macro of the things that I've written. I have written, do write, and will write about really everything. There are songs that will never see the light of day, and there have been repercussions of speaking what my version of truth is. Even in the circumstance of joy and in love, like there is discrepancy. If I release a song about a subject, it's cemented as truth, whether it's current or past or satire or whatever. And that thing that is cemented has the space for as long as it exists, which is now forever, to be picked apart from everyone in my life and from anybody who puts their ears on it. The way that I've dealt with that is probably not great, even in this first run of recording songs and having lyrics that not everybody loves, is making me go back to the drawing board on all of these things. Before I get all the way through this process, am I really willing to stand on these words? Am I really willing to live a life where I stand on these perspectives 10 years from now? I don't particularly know if I have the correct answer.
From across the room, you left in somber scenes. Autumn leaves have left me asking questions like you might.
There are certainly controversial things that I've said, even in front of house, that people have come into disagreement with, and it's terrifying. It's certainly terrifying. So one of my uncles, unfortunately, took his own life in September of last year. And I really shoved it all down, and we got deep into the process of getting front of house done and getting all of that done. And I was sort of pretending like life was good. And then I got hit with that conflict. Someone coming to me and being like, hey, the words that you have said and now written and are about to cement in this release have hurt me. It all kind of came crashing. We're going to go back and work on this documentary, and from front of house to basically like midsummer, we're not going to have much because that experience specifically just like broke me. I wasn't coping with the reality that I was living in. Who Did This to You? The song itself, in the place that we oriented it in the context of front of house, is so intentionally mysterious. There's a certain level of vagueness, of nuance that I want to keep with anybody who's willing to continue to listen, before, during, and after front of house. So Who Did This to You is really just this putting the hands up of this relationship has gone haywire. It's over and it's been over, and I kind of can't move on for whatever my reasons are. I encourage anyone who listens to just recount back and forth and go through that double long bridge just to really hear out. I mean, there are certain personal references that no listener who exists outside of the context of, being in the midst of me and this person and in our community, we just shared a lot of life. And when that ended, it had ripple effects in so many different walks of our lives together and the people who were a part of the way that we lived. So sort of asking this, who did this to you? I don't want to give away where it is in the record yet, just because it's such a beautiful building block to really tell the whole story for this whole LP. But I think that for front of house, I wanted it to be there. I wanted to show that I wasn't afraid to write and produce and arrange a 7-minute song. I didn't need you to be impressed by it. And I don't say that with ego, but I do say that with the confidence of the story of Who Did This to You inside of the whole story of the record, and I just think this whole 2-year period that's being encapsulated is just such a revelation in that it lacks revelation.
Love, can you wait? I promise I'll only take moments. I've lost my way in every sense. I lost focus. You've been okay, looking for love in wrong places. I've stayed the same. You think I'd grow bored in complacence? Oh my love, maybe we were just lost thought we might make it past 18. Too good to be true. And fight about dumb things, like why I don't call every morning, and why you won't tell me your feelings. Who did this to you? Try every day to keep my head up and stay focused. Nothing's the same since movie film nights and those gas station lights. I